Stephen, a 2-1 defeat here at Dens Park. Sum up, if you can, your thoughts after those 90 minutes.
It was very frustrating. You know, I don't think there's an awful lot between Motherwell Dundee on the pitch, and suddenly now they're sitting 5 points above us in the league. Had a terrific start, you know, they've had this season. So it's disappointing that, you know, we should be up there. You know, I think we should have had something out of this game today. I think the way we played in the first half, you know, we got ourselves into good areas. You know, it's just the final decision on the ball. And I think that probably sums up where we've been the last 5 or 6 weeks, that we do get ourselves into good areas, and it's just that composure to pick someone off, or just sometimes to lift your head and play an extra pass. So very disappointing. You know, we hope to build on last week's win against Partick Thistle. I don't think the performance was great last week. First half today was decent. Second half, for some unknown reason, it took us 23 minutes to string 3 or 4 passes together. And if you're going to play in a game where you can't keep the ball, then you're always going to be in the back foot.
The second half, what you mentioned there, it's been quite systematic of the season actually. The first half we seem to be doing okay, and then second half it seems to be a struggle. I know you've only been involved necessarily for these couple of games, but any idea why you think that might be?
I've no idea, because, you know, when you praise them at half time for doing well in the first half, you know, I remember going to St Johnstone as well and leading the game and playing well, and you think, can you kick on? You know, do they just sit back and relax a little bit and maybe invite the opposition on? I don't know, but certainly it's a mentality thing that, you know, once the second half kicks off, you have to continue doing what was making you successful in the first half. Again, poor goals conceding. You know, I think back to lots of games this season where the opposition is getting into our box too easy, scoring goals too easy, a cross ball, and you know, you set up a wall for a free kick and it just disintegrates. So it's you know, listen, there's no excuses. The players have to face up to it. The players have to understand where they're going in their career, first and foremost at Motherwell, and then where they see themselves long term, whether it's me in charge, whether it's someone else in charge. It doesn't come easy to you. You know, you don't just come up to football games and just get through them and play through and get a couple of touches of the ball. You have to go and show a little bit of heart at times and put your foot in and be strong and retain the ball. If you don't do that, then you're always going to be in the back foot.
You mentioned last week how it was difficult to get through the 90 minutes. It felt like, was today more about frustration because you mentioned the quality goals, you mentioned the wrong decisions in the bad areas, you mentioned not getting started for the first 15-20 minutes of the second half. Is that how you feel? Is it a frustration and anger?
Yeah, it is, because I felt as if we were, you know, I felt as if we were in control of the game. You know, yes, they maybe had a little bit of the ball, but I didn't sense that we were under real pressure. You know, we were camped in, we couldn't get out. It's just not getting ourselves in the areas of the pitch where you think, go on, you know, show a bit of composure and play a pass, and can you take someone out of the game? At times some of the players look a little bit nervous, you know, especially when you go 1-0 down, 2-0 down. You know, it's difficult sometimes to go and get a hold of the ball and get a hold of the game. But yeah, it's anger and frustration, because, you know, people are paying good money to travel up and make a bit of noise and try and back the team, and the players want to try and repay them, but, you know, performances have to improve, irrespective, as I say, whether it's me or someone else. But, you know, I think the club and the team had come in with good heart and good ambitions this season of where they could, you know, be in the league. I don't think there's an awful lot between teams in the league, but at the minute, when games are tight and games are close, we can't seem to get ourselves over the edge. Last week at Thistle was the only time really, but in any other game this season where it's been really close, we seem to come out on the losing side.
You mentioned all that. It gets back to 2-1 with 4 or 5 minutes to go. You're thinking, okay, let's see where we can go here. And we miss a great chance. You know, Kieran Kennedy, I think it was, had a header, or should have been a header just close to the bar. Did you think at that point you can maybe steal something here?
Well, Stephen Robinson said to me with 12 minutes to go, he says, if we get a goal, I generally feel we can get something out of the game, because we'd have been in the ascendancy. They're coming up the hill here at Dens, and when you get the goal, you sense there's a little bit more sharpness about the players. Marvin Johnson had a chance at the end where he cuts in, and I'm saying to him, you know, I watch him in training, he cuts inside in training and scores and shoots. And I said, why then is your mindset when you cut inside to try and pass or try and set someone else up? It's maybe just the selfish nature of the game where they're always trying to help someone else, whereas they're sometimes taking a little bit of responsibility, getting your shot off, maybe taking a deflection, the ball might go in. Kieran Kennedy has a header in the middle of the 6-yard box I think he has to try and make contact with. It's just about putting yourselves in the positions and then understanding, do I really want to win that ball? Do I really want to get in the end of that ball? Yeah, I'm not saying Kieran didn't, but certainly when you get in that area of the pitch, middle of the 6-yard box, you're expecting something to go on target. You know, the opposition get one in our box and it goes in the back of the net, so that's a difference.
Stephen, thanks.
Cheers.